Hey, hello everybody. Super good morning to everyone. Happy Saturday today, and it's 7:30 in the morning. And this is your host, Kevin Chang again. We have another topic here talking a little bit about the Chinese metaphysics. So today is a part of it that we're gonna introduce a little bit about doing reading on the background of relationship. This is not the love kind of relationship. Please I tell you first. Right. Don't try to go and take this session and try to find a husband and find a wife. It's not gonna work. Actually can work, right? So we're gonna talk about relationship in a more broader sense, as in how to work together with the people around you. Right. So first of all, as usual, super good morning, Simon. Right. So having your cup of morning coffee, and also Pepper also is round, right? So with the sunshine there. Right, or the sunrise, right? So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the aspect of relationship, right? So I'm gonna introduce some again black color triangle graphic to you all again. Right, so let's move on and talk about this, right? So yesterday got a bit of an experience while visiting my father in the what we call hospital. So the hospital has been doing some weird thing, as in every time I come, the fellow will give me a piece of paper and say that, hey, go to the pharmacy and buy this medication. Yes, I become the medicine boy of the pharmacy of the hospital. Right, so yeah, you go downstairs, and go and search for the right pharmacy somewhere. There are secret pharmacy around. They will tell you that this one, you go this corner, go that corner, turn here, turn there, then you will find the particular pharmacy and you buy from that pharmacy. It's like, okay. So hello Manuel, hello Winnie, how you guys are doing, right? So both of you are just showing sunshine right now, one bigger than the other. Right, hopefully everyone's doing fine lah, right? So now that was the experience that I had, dealing with one of the hospital that my father is in right now. Okay, right, so let me shrink myself down to the smaller version as usual so that I don't block anybody, right? So normal stuff, get in touch with me. Telegram is the one place to do. So right now we are doing the voting for the 2025 12 animal, which one to go next. And at this current moment, the monkey is the one that is running ahead, climbing the tree. Okay, right, so for those of you who like to read newsletter, please go and join my Substacks newsletter. Once you subscribe, anything that I write inside there will be emailed to you directly, so you get a copy. Or you can join the community channel, right? So the community channel is basically a fan page. You need some support from people who are also practicing Chinese metaphysics. It will be a great place for you to come in and join, right? So you can have some chat, you can start some topic, anything at all, right? So it's up to you what you want to do, right? So you want to get in touch with me, any of these platform will work as well, right? So normal, right? So if you have not plotted your Bazi chart yet, this would be the software for you to use. I'm working together with Typing Astro right now to further improve and enhance the workability of this particular software. So please do use this. So today we will be using both the natal chart and also the what we call it as the luck pillar, right? So annual chart and also luck pillar. So luck pillar change every 10 years, right? So main thing today is for you to understand the functionality or differences between the natal chart and also the luck pillar, right? So this would be the you can call it the introduction to it, so that you have a general conceptualization of things, so that when you are reading that time, you know what is you are actually reading from different part of the Bazi chart. Right? There's a lot of information when you look at the Bazi chart. So different information give you different action point, and at different circumstances, you read it at different manner. All right. So now this is the information you need. So if you have not plotted your Bazi chart, go ahead, scan the QR code, and then just get into the Bazi chart plotting. Hello Eve, good morning to you. Another sunshine from everybody. Right. So now first of all, understand that humans are social creature. Right. So because why? Human long time ago they have found out, being humble, that we are actually not very powerful human, right? So physically, we are actually weak in terms of the ranking of all the animals. We are even weaker than chimpanzee. Frankly speaking, chimpanzee can overpower us at any time according to strength, right? So we can't outrun most animals, right? We cannot outpower most animal. We cannot outrun most animal. Okay, right. So what happened very early? We understand that there's one quality that we can do very well, which is work together with everybody. right? How do they master? What is it? How to DM you for inquiry? Just DM me in any of the platform. You can DM me in Telegram, right? So you can DM me in Telegram. Just join the Telegram group. Click on my Telegram and can DM me. It's pretty simple, right? So DM also can be used in Facebook, can also be used in Substack. All of them you can DM. Right? So now I look at all of them. Right? So back to being human, right? So from very long time ago, we understand that when we cluster together, we form a community, we form a group, we are able to help. So which means that when we become social creature, the interaction between each other become very important, right? So probably chain, you want to call it, right? So last time we are still humbled by other animal, like I like to say saber-tooth tiger, right. Last time got saber-tooth tiger come, you need to fight the saber-tooth tiger. With you alone you cannot fight the saber-tooth tiger, but when you clan together and get everybody together, right, so you are able to fight and stand a chance against the saber-tooth tiger. So that was the long time ago, right? So right now is a little bit more different, right? So what happened here is that all your problems today is the direct result of relationship mismanagement, right? So unfortunately today, right, there's people who thinks that I can do everything on my own. No, you cannot do everything on your own. It doesn't work that way, right? So at least our society doesn't that work that way. With the advancement of AI, this particular perk of trying to do things on your own has become even worse, right? So if you try to do things on your own, people who do things together will basically take you down very fast, right? So very very easy they can take you down. So that's why a lot of people who has too much ego people, so that we know how to manage all of this particular thing, right? Bottom line, you need other people to survive. That is always our creature, right? So now same thing, I'll give you a very simple example. Like, you want money, right? Money come from where? Okay, somebody else's pocket now, right? Very logical, right? So if you want the money from somebody else's pocket, you need to bring something to exchange with people now. Very logical, right? So no one will pay you for no reason, right? But there are people in this world who think like that. Very sorry, my country, they just recently I don't know whether they call run a survey or run around the street and ask newly graduated what we call degree holder, right? So they just came out, and asked them, what is your expected salary, or a lot of them tell that, oh, I'm expecting to pay 5K. Yeah, dream on. Right. Right, it just came out to work and then he said that, oh, I will say 5K, so it's like asking them, why do you need 5K? Oh, because my lifestyle, no one cares about your lifestyle, right? So that's how delusional some of us has become in particular world, right? Because we watch too much other people, aka called influencer, who has been showing you that their lifestyle is really great. That's what the social media is. The social media is very opaque, skewed medium that shows you the good thing and hide all the bad thing. That's what you do, right? So when you are looking at social media, please do grab a handful of salt and before you swallow too much. Okay, come, let's take a look at it, right? So like again, I said that always introduce you with some conceptualization. Every time you see black screen with picture, it's basically conceptualization, right? So that relationship, actually you have three pronged to it, right? So each of them deliver different area. So on your self side, right? So there's actually the value creation. So you are always the value creator in this particular game, right? So when you talk about value creator, is what do you represent, what do you bring to the table? Later we talk about that. And you always project what is inside of you, right? So a lot of time, when you see somebody who is angry, now angry is very easy to recognize. You see somebody who is angry, he internally, he is actually internally he's projecting the person that he doesn't like, which is himself. Unfortunately, you always project the person that doesn't like. So this one, the very classical example that people say is that, so what happened when you squeeze an orange, right? So if you squeeze an orange, right, orange juice come out. If you squeeze a lemon, lemon juice come out. whatever you squeeze, right, whatever is inside basically come out. So same thing also with the example of, you know, if today you were rushing and then you spill a cup of coffee, right? So and then, you know, it dirties somebody's shirts, right? So if let's say that today you were holding a cup of water, what will you spill? You will spill a glass of water, right? So but then whatever you spill out, it usually impacts your environment. So if you are always angry, right? So you are always angry, you will spill angriness to people. This is basically called projection. So that's why a lot of time, right? So when you are angry against certain people for their behavior, it is because you have exactly the same behavior that you hate about yourself, that you are taking it on the other person. So you observe that one, right? So that is your observe. So we'll talk a little bit about, you know, your projection and your behavior later. Then the next thing is that you always interact with other people, right? So this one you can call the love side or no, right? So now interacting with other people, you know, a lot of time is about value exchange. So what are the things that you can exchange with the other person? It's very transactional. You cannot run from it. Right? There is no such thing as no value exchange or collaboration when you're basically working with another person. Then there is the third component inside the particular thing, which is called the world and also the community. Right. So this is where you need to expand your strategy, and also, you know, you need to know how to do timing and also cycle time. Right. So all of this, right. So these three component is basically what determine your relationship. Right? So how do you deal with yourself? How do you deal with the other individual? And also how do you deal with the overall community that you're in? So of course, if you're in a different community, you know, the strategy is different, right? So different age gap, different mentality level community, right? So this one is very simple, right? When you were 20, that level is very different when you were 40. You just think about it, people that you deal with, you know, when you were 20 years old, and stuff that you were doing when you were 20 years old. It's very different from stuff that you're doing right now when you're 40, right? So it's completely different world, right? So the world is actually the same, like you're still on planet Earth, right? So but the level of things that you're doing, the things that you are, you know, especially the amount of responsibility that's on your shoulder change, right? So as responsibility change, you know, your strategy basically change. Right, so if you understand all these three components, then it's easier for you to basically work with this little thing called relationship, right? So that you have, right? So this is what today we are trying to discover. All right, so come, let's take a look at, you know, how do we going to walk through this. Right, so now, so your true self will happen to be the one that you project onto others. That is actually your true self. So that's why, you know, if you see certain thing, it triggers you. Right? So why does certain things trigger you? Because you recognize the thing in yourself. So that's why it triggers the entire episode. You want to call meltdown also can, right? The entire episode. So if you are a kind person, right? Kindness will trigger you, right? So when you see places whereby you can display kindness, you will basically go in and display kindness. It has to be from inside of you, because it's actually very difficult for you to pretend to be something. Right? So this is the part, you know, whereby you try to study your Bazi chart. Your Bazi chart actually tells you your template, right? So under what circumstance do you function the most nicest lah? You want to call nicest or most efficient, right? So we look at the Bazi chart. So later I will talk a little bit about, you know, some Bazi chart functionality or reading, right? So this is one that you need to know. So that's why again, I say if you often are triggered by certain things, it's because internally you already have the thing inside of you. So a lot of time it's not you need to change the external factor. A lot of people is like that, you know, it's like, oh, you have to change, right? So I'm not wrong, you have to change, you are the fault, you know, it's everything like that. No, the other party don't have to change at all. You have to change, right? Internally, you also have to change. If you feel sad over certain things, right, go and find out why does that trigger sadness inside of you. There must be something inside of you that, you know, if you see what we call the psychologists, they'll tell you that there are certain traumas. Your brain are very amazing, right? So it is a very amazing shutdown function. So anything that causes you to be unable to function normally, your brain will shut it down. So that's why if you have gone through a traumatic experience, a lot of time you cannot remember. Right? That particular thing called forgetting certain things is actually your brain mechanism of protecting you, because the brain know that if you remember those things you might harm yourself. Okay, so that's why it make those things disappear so that you don't have the capability of harming yourself. Our mind is very resilient when it comes to survival. That's why we will always find a way to survive. Human, we will always find a way to survive. It is always the internal structure mechanism that disallow you from not disallow you from ending yourself. And so that's what we do. So that's why we survive over the century, despite having a situation whereby all other animals are better than us. Right? We find way to basically to survive. All right. So now, yes, you have to improve your own capacity lah, to build a healthy image. Right. So it's about improving your offering. Right. So if you ever feel small, improve your offering. Don't try to don't try to put other people down. Don't try to say that other people need to adjust themselves. Right. So tell people that in terms of what we call problem solving, right, the lowest level of problem solving is called changing environment. Changing environment means you blame the environment, then I move on to another environment. So it's like, oh, I don't want to friend you, so very classic one, it's like, oh, no, I want to change job because why, this job is toxic. That job might be toxic. It's because you do not know how to handle the situation. It's not because the job is toxic. Right? Every single job has their capability. Like for example, firefighter. A firefighter job is very dangerous, right? So because no, is it the job problem that you cannot handle the job, or is it your problem that you cannot handle? Let's say it was a firefighter, right? For you to handle the job, you just have to increase your training, ma. All right, no, it's not. So if you change to another firefighter job, does it make any differences? No, right? So this is where I tell people, right? If you can't swim, changing swimming pool will not change your situation. You need to change yourself, right? So the second level of problem solving is basically called try harder. So, oh, I've not tried hard enough, I go try harder. So you try to do the same thing in more repetition in hope that you will do this better, right? So this is called jumping into the pool, drinking water without good technique. Does it solve problems? Sometimes it solve problem, right? So this one is basically the second level. Second level say that maybe I did not practice enough, so I continue my practice. So the second level. So third level is to acknowledge that my method might be wrong. This is upgrading the brain, right? So number one is try to change the external circumstances. Number two is try to change your own personal physical circumstances. Number three is try to change your mindset. Try to change your mindset mean that there must be a better way of doing this. I go and learn from other people who know how to swim. And so I see you can swim, right? So then I check out what you do versus what I do. Right? So what you do versus what I do, what's the difference, right? So even for those people who go to gym, right? So you just go to gym and just lift weight doesn't really work. You need to lift it in the correct technique, correct posture, as they call it. Right? So then only you'll be able to do that, right? So same thing now also is about understanding yourself and what are the value that you want to build. You don't build all the value together. You don't have enough time to do so, but there are certain things that is good for you, right? So this one we look at your party chart, right? So your party chart is generally how you translate the world. So the way that you translate the world actually already dictates under what condition do you perform better. And that is the part that a lot of people don't explain to you, right? So they try to look at party chart. A lot of time they tell us, is my party chart good or bad? Right, so this one I ask people, right? So tell me, is a Ferrari versus a lorry? Lorry means it's a truck. Which one is better? Right, guys, if I give you a choice, Ferrari versus a truck, which one is better? Right, which one would you say that is better? Right, so this is basically asking, a party chart A versus party chart B, which one is better? So how would you answer if I ask you, Ferrari versus a truck, which one is better? For those of you who know how to answer, then you would have guessed. So is the chat working? Right? So no, never mind. Right? So now a lot of people, when they look at it, a lot of people, again, watching too much social media, they'll say that, oh, no, Ferrari is better. Right? So my party chart is a Ferrari party chart. So now I ask you, so right now, right, so Ferrari and lorry, right? So right now the competition is to See who can carry more sand from point A to point B given a certain amount of time on a construction site. Okay, now how many of you think that the Ferrari would be better? Right, the Ferrari cannot even run in the construction site. Hello, Candice. Right, so thank you for confirming that the chat is working. Right, so can you see the Bazi chart is not good or bad. The Bazi chart is just a Bazi chart. Right, but a Bazi chart that's put in a wrong place to function, bad. Lor. A Bazi chart that's put inside the right place to function, good. Lor. So the job of the Bazi chart, at least the natal part, is to give you a signal as in this particular situation. Right, you would have advantage over other people because that is how you process information. Some people are more high risk taking, like for example a 7K structure budget chart. Those are more high risk taking type of budget chart. So it's their courage index is higher, so there are less thing in the world that can scare them, right? So that's why they are more happily to attempt more dangerous functionality. So which means that a 7 killing firefighter is definitely going to do way much better than the other profile as a firefighter. But at least when he see dangerous situation, he daring to move in. That's how much it's a difference. So for a 7 killing person, if you place yourself in an environment whereby risk taking is being rewarded, aka 7 killing is very, very in the at least in the olden day, very, very popular for military purpose. Fighting people, right? So fighting people, right? So go to war, right? So no, they're usually soldier type. So if you put them in a soldier situation, they shine. Right? So if you put them in a peaceful environment, then your label to them is this person is very aggressive. Right? So the same very aggressive, you put it in war, it become a protector. Right? So if you have a saber-tooth tiger in front of you who's gonna come and attack you, right? You would want a 7K to come in and help. Right? You wouldn't want a resource star person to come in and help you. Resource star come here, both of you die at the same time. Right? Right? Because a resource star person would function in a very different manner. So right now the question is, do you know how you function? Right? So again, don't take whatever the society say as an answer, because they are just one component, because the society has been telling everybody that study well, get a good exam, come out, find a good job, get married, buy a house, have children, die. Okay, that's what society has been teaching all of us for all this while, right? So those are true for a certain period of time. Right now, if you still apply the same thing, nah, it doesn't really work. Right? Does not really work well. All right. So that's why it's very different. Doing our forefather long time ago, all these kind of things are very, very different. So the part of it, if you studied Bazi, at least in the classical manner, they will basically tell you, oh, this sort of Bazi chart, is higher grade, this sort of Bazi chart lower grade. It is because it is based on the contextual of the olden day. Olden day contextual is very, very easy. The game that they play is very easy. Right? So because the society back then was not as diverse as right now, right? So it's easier to predict. Like for example, in the olden day, the game is very easy. Like get married, have children, raise the children, pass down your family business to the children so that the children can continue to produce for the entire family. That is the entire game in the olden day. Right? So that's why if you use the olden day type of reading, a person which has higher level of hardworking, which is happen to be well star, by the way. Well star measure hardworking, by the way. All right. So if you have a higher quotient of well star, which means that you are more hardworking, which means that you are more willing to put in effort in working the farm. You are more willing to put in effort in manning the fishing boat, right? So you are more willing to put in the effort in terms of doing your carpentry, make your table, make your chair, cut your wood, right? So you are more putting in effort in terms of creating the trade route as a businessman, right? So you do better. They want this sort of quality, but today if you work very hard, right, you might not get anything right now, especially in period 9. Confirm to you, but especially in period 9 working hard, not gonna work, right? So you're gonna just get tired. Okay, right. So you have to understand that in terms of the contextualization that you're in. So that's why the Bazi chart, your natal chart, give you a very good blueprint or template to ask yourself that this is how I process the world. This is me, right? So I need to put myself in a circumstance whereby this sort of quality is being valued. Don't go and put yourself in a circumstance whereby this sort of quality is not being valued. So this one go into career choices, right? So yeah, every career got their characteristic one, like accountant got accountant phone, right? So if you understand, accountant phone, then you do accountant work, right? So let's say that your resource star is a bit more higher one, you will survive better in accountancy, right? So if you're hurting officer very high one, you go into accountancy, right? Doesn't work well because accountancy do not value hurting officers quality. Not cannot, but you will be a tree monkey trying to swim. Doesn't really work too well. Right? So that's why we want to understand the natal chart. Right. So by understanding the natal chart, you can also understand the other party. Right? If you look at the natal chart of the other party, you start to understand that, oh, this is what this particular person value, this is how this particular person translate. Right. So then I know how to exchange with the person. Right. I know how to bring my good value exchange for somebody who does not have this value, and I can exchange it for certain value that I don't have that this particular person have. Like for example, I know my chart got no output. So I already know long time ago I'm not a very creative person. And so what I do is that, I purposely go and find people who have, pretty healthy amount of hurting officer and eating God. I be friend with them. Anytime I need some idea, I pick them. Easy, right? I just throw something out to them and then say that, hey, how would this be improved and what is your, viewpoint on this? I just listen to them, because that is their expertise, right? Makes sense, right? I don't have it. Go find somebody who have it and, work together with the other party. So the other party also have certain things that they don't have that I can offer. Right. So, like Chinese metaphysics, all these kind of things, right? To me, is something highly unique that I have, right? At least among all my friends. Right? Highly unique that I can give them, very good insight. Right? So those are very good exchange point to people, and it cost me next to nothing. Right? So at least I paid for it already, right? So second thing, right? So second thing is about timing. Yeah, whatever it is, right? There is actually timing, right? So don't try to plant crops in winter. Doesn't work. So that's why a lot of time people say, as long as I hardworking, like people will discover me. No, you have to be hardworking in the right time. Like for example, in office, if you're hardworking when your boss is not around, no use. Okay, you need to be hardworking when your boss is around. So that's why the other party who know how to act busy when the boss is around, they are the one that usually get promoted. Not the one that really do the work, and then it's like, when boss is not around, I'm still doing the work. Those people usually doesn't get the promotion. They get more work and they get more work done because no one knows that these are the people who completed the work. It's like, but it's not fair. That's how the world works. Right? So that's why you need to be very strategic. If you are in a career, you need to be very, very strategic, right? So, if you are in a business, you need to let your customer know that you exist. A lot of people have very good skill set. They are phenomenal in doing certain things, but no one know that they exist. Right? So this is advice I give to a lot of my I call them influencer friend. Right. So what happens is that whatever they share on their influencer, right, the influencer account, right, has nothing to do with the thing that they want to sell. Biggest problem, right? So I got a few of them, So it's like every day looking at the Instagram account, whatever, right? Play badminton, go gym, They post this sort of stuff. So when I ask, you teach badminton? No, they don't teach badminton. Instead of go gym, you're trying to be a personal trainer, you teach gym. No, they don't teach gym. So if I look at your account, you always says gym, 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 gym. But then I can't buy gym from you, you're not a personal trainer. What's the point? You want to do something else, and then always say that oh I don't know why cannot find prospective customer because no one know what the hell that you are doing, right? Can see or not? So that's why timing is very, very important, right? So you need to know where are the correct timing to do the correct thing, right? So and this one, your parts chart, the luck pillar actually tells you the luck pillar and no pillar actually give you the timing component, right? So at what time what's supposed to happen, right? So you need to know the timing, right? So and also next thing you need to know, you can never change the other person, but you can always expand your available strategy. Right? So no strategy is always expandable. So which means that the same offering, right? This particular person doesn't value it. Go and look for other people who value the offering. It's the entire thing. Right? So that's why you got the entire world. And how do you know who actually like content creation is one of the window? Because when you do content creation, you are telling people about things that matters to you. And only people who also matter the same thing will come and connect with you. You go and find the right crowd lah. It's called go and find the right crowd lah. So this one, in the market, the stories is about this old man who give a piece of rock to this young girl and ask the girl to go and sell it in the market. Right. So it's like one day little granddaughter of this particular fellow tell them that, hey, you go to the market and ask all the store, right, how much would they pay for this particular piece of rock, but don't sell to them. So she go out there and come back, say that they said that they will pay at the maximum is about $5 only with this rock. So the next day, right? So the next day, that particular old man said that hey, you take this same piece of rock, right? You go to that particular few shops and you let them evaluate it and ask how much is it. So same time the girl take over to there, came back and said that oh, they'll pay me 500 for it. It's like, oh no, 500, right? So then the next thing is that the next day they take this piece of rock to that particular person, one specific person, and ask that person. After the person take a look at it, right? So and then the grandfather said that this piece of rock you sell to that person. Right? So the other person offered 5,000. Because why? The other person know the value of the people on the street does not know the value on the rock. So now this one also give you the particular thing, and it's called you need to find the right people to be around. Because if you always mix with people who doesn't know value, right? So AK, so sorry first no, this part of it, just apologize Those people who always ask for free stuff, cheaper stuff one, right? You might want to phase them out of your life. Okay? Right? So don't bother with this, you don't need them. Right? You don't need them, they always look for free stuff, always look for cheap stuff, right? You let them go and mix with the free and cheap people. Okay? Right? So it's not who you want to mix with. Right? So this is the one, right? So you want more choices, you need to expand your strategy. Right? You need to expand your people. Right? So this one is actually a lot of time is talking about your luck pillar. Right? So your luck pillar is what comes to you. What are the circumstances that you are being subjected to? So a lot of time I tell people this is the season. Season as in if you watch a mini series, if you watch a series, right? So then you got season 1 of the series, then you got season 2, season 3, season 4. Every single season, the theme of the show change. The character can be the same, right? So so if you watch, last time watch a lot of this thing called CSI, right? So CSI, the character in the CSI change, the theme of every single season change, right? So these seasons could be talking about serial murder. The next season, they talk about bank heist, right? So another season talk about different things, right? So when a new season come in, new characteristic come in, so you have to change the way that you do things. Your budget chart don't change. Right? The budget chart don't change, but the way that you translate your annual circumstance and the way that you translate your what we call your luck pillar changes. Right? So like for example, this year is the wood dragon, next year is the wood snake. The wood dragon, wood snake is basically very different. Just by the name dragon and also snake, right? It's a different creature. Right? So the component inside different, and if you are different day master, your translation of the year change. Right? So now is your translation change, and you need to learn how to adapt. So now once you adapt, once you learn, right, that become new skill set to you. Every single period you are given a new skill set to practice, and this skill set you carry throughout your life. Right? So you could require this particular skill set for future things. Right? So like for example, a lot of things is that getting yourself hurt. Right? So getting yourself hurt is actually a chance for your muscle to rebuild to become bigger. So if you go for gym, why does people have bigger muscle? Is that they hurt their muscle more. Right? They hurt their muscle more, your muscle grow, become bigger. Mental also is the same, right? So if you hurt your mental a bit more, then your mental become more resilient. Right? So yes, right. So Abante, right? Abante Squad TV. Wow. a very unique name, right? So that's what your luck pillar basically talking about. Is talking about the circumstance that you are in, right? So the things that you do, right? So can you see that this one actually give you the idea of at this current moment, what are the things that I need to do at this current moment? So you got two components. One component is my Bazi chart, right? My Bazi chart is basically talking about just now, the self, the soul side of it. Then you got the other person's Bazi chart. It's talking about their what we call their circumstance, and both of you here are trying to do an exchange, right? So you're trying to do a value exchange, try to collaborate, right? So then there is the overall society, what the society is basically want. So right now we are into period 9. So period 8, the things that period 8 want is going to be different from what the period 9 want. So if you still play period 8 game in the period 9, you're going to lose. So this is like if you go into sports, every season they change the rule of the sport a little bit, right? So if you got follow F1, F1 is the one of them that basically change the rule every season. As in, every season the car manufacturer will come up with certain strategy to make themselves win. Like for example, there were one year very long ago that they come up with skirting, just car skirting only. So because the skirting causes the air to suck onto the car, and the car become very what we call very sticky to the floor, right? So and then after that they find that the skirting is no fun, no fun. So they ban the skirting. Right, so like you see, every season got things change. So every season when things change, right, the way that you see the thing change, but the important thing is that how you adapt. So same thing with when you're dealing with the world and also you're dealing with the society. If you are going out, if you're going out, you venture into different country, they got different rule in different country. The question is, do you want to do that? Right? So this one in Malaysia, I always tell people is that now Malaysia got this thing called halal certification. Right? So because we are anyhow it's an Islamic country, right? So we got this thing called halal certification, right? So it's very easy. You want to do the halal business, go get halal certification. If you cannot be bothered with the halal business, then don't do halal certification, right? So and then you need to ask yourself, how much does the world care about this thing called halal, and how many countries will issue this halal certification? Right, so like for example, Malaysia make it very, very difficult to get halal certification. So right now, Thailand is issuing halal certification. They're gonna make it very, very easy. So how? Right? Just the people on the international world cares about whether your halal certification is from Malaysia. It's like your university degree. Right? So Harvard University degree, is supposedly very difficult to get. And then you got XYZ university degree, very easy to get, it's PhD, all those kind of things, right? So in the end, right, does anybody cares your PhD come from whichever country? Yeah, right. So those are things that you need to consider, like, when you are going into it, right? So, but if you play the correct game, then things become easy, right? So, always, if you are in a relationship, always examine what you bring to the table. It's not what you can gain. A lot of people go for networking, joining whatever it is, they go there, right? They are thinking is that, oh, what can I get from here? What can I get, when I join this network? What I can get when I join this community, right? So if you're joining any community, going for any network, and your mindset is what can I get from this particular mode? What is in it for me? What in it for me? If your perspective is that, right, you will fail. You will fail. You need to go into community and ask yourself, how can I value add into the community? Right? Because you know yourself, but you don't know the other party. And so right now is you go in and you say you can bring yourself in, right? So sometimes you need to do some community work, right? So as in, help out the community a bit, right? So give them, whatever that is required by them. Before you will be offered certain things that would help you. Not to go and take, it's basically, you are giving, right? So and then one day somebody will offer something for you. So which means that whatever that you give out, per se for free, somebody one day will pay you one. Somebody one day will pay you. Right? You just say that the universe will keep count of your karma point. People like the word karma. I don't know why. So if you do good, so your karma index goes up, and one day the universe will basically come back and award you for the karma that you have already put onto the cookie jar. So that's basically what happened. So take care of this. Really, I know if you go for anything at all, you join anything at all, please don't go and ask, what will I get from this? No, ask yourself, what can you bring to the table, right? So of course, without hurting yourself. Okay, right, so that's right. So it's all about collaboration. So this one, I don't know whether you guys have seen before on the internet. There is this things. There's this big pot of food at the center of the things, right? So people cannot get near to the food. Everybody is giving a very long spoon. So the long spoon is so long that you can never feed yourself, right? The long spoon is so you're not able to feed yourself with the spoon. So the strategy is that if you do not feed the other party, everyone dies of hunger. The food is there, right? So same thing in the society is that money is available. A lot of people want to earn money. Right? Money is available, right? So the question is, how can you help the other party earn money? Right? If you help the other party earn money, the other party can help you earn money. Okay, it's not how much you take, right? So it's how big can you grow the pie? A lot of people Red Sea mentality is how much of the current pie that I can grab. Right? So if you do that, people will murder you first. Right? So again, it's about how to help. So you can see if you know the other person's puzzle chart, you can very clearly see that, hey, your puzzle chart seems to be lacking in this particular area. And I seems to be pretty good at this particular area. Now I help you with this particular area. Definitely the fellow will have certain area that fellow is excel in, and happen that you are somebody who is not really good at that. Then you guys exchange skill set lah. Understand or not? Right? So it's all about exchanging skill set. You cannot have every single skill set in the world. So if you want to work out a good relationship, it's really about value exchange. Right? So you and your partner, as in your love relationship is the same. Right? So love doesn't last. For those of you who still have delusional that I love the other person, no, it doesn't. Okay, you don't, right? So initially, yes, maybe 3, 6, 5 months, yeah, but after that, right, is really what does each of you bring to the table? In the olden day is very, very easy. In the olden days that you go out and fight the guys, guys go out and fight the saber-tooth tiger, right? So the woman take care of whatever that's inside, right? The delineation is very clear. So but right now in the new era, the woman also want to go out and fight the tiger. Okay, so if you have this particular thing happening, right, you need to redo the balancing. So that's why the traditional relationship model in Bazi mean that guys look for direct way of God, ladies look for direct officer. This method doesn't work anymore, right? This method doesn't work anymore, right? So direct officer represent obedience, discipline, whereas direct wealth represent hardworking and the courage to go out and punch stuff. That's what guy is supposed to do. So that's why you look for guys, you look for direct wealth, you look for ladies, you look for direct officer. Right. So when ladies see direct officer as in the what we call your luck pillar, right? So you see direct officer in your luck pillar. It is where we say that your chances of getting married, you find your correct man is there. So when guys see direct wealth, is you'll find your wife. That's how we do reading in the olden days. So that's why when you combine both of them together, right? When you combine both of them together, your natal chart and also your luck pillar, you get a very concise information about what is journey that this particular person is going through, and how would this particular person translate the journey from their point of view. Right? So which means next year, the year of the wooden snake, a Ren Day master will see wooden snake very different from a Ping Day master. And that's just day master. Day master combined with the chart structure, it's gonna be a different thing. So which means that a Ping Day master with a 7 killing structure seeing the wooden snake here versus a Ping Day master with a companion structure seeing the wooden snake here is two different lens. But once you understand the lens already, you understand how they translate the situation. So when you know how to translate the situation, then you know how to do exchange. Right. So that's why I say that if you need this sort of characteristic, go and find this sort of person. Right? So like yesterday we talked about the horse. Right? So you see that the horse got the peach blossom, which means that whoever has the horse is going to be primarily more attractive. right? So if you are trying to find a partner but you don't have a horse, mean that you're not attractive this year, can you go out with a horse friend, right? Yeah, then let the fella become the bait lah, right? Let the fella become the bait, right? So you go fishing, you need to have bait one. Correct? No, they are the called chump, right? So the pieces of fish that you throw inside the sea to attract other bigger fish. The fella is called a chump, right? So now you go there, let him attract all the girls, and then then you bring him to the toilet, then you smack his backside, he fainted in the toilet, you lock him in the toilet, then go outside. Oh, just now my friend, I went back already. Right, so that's what you do, okay? Right, so yeah. So once you understand that, you can do that. But once you don't understand, then can't do much. Right, so that's why you want to understand your party chart, right? So it's just basically to know that, hey, this is how I function. In this particular circumstance, I shine. But if I go to other circumstance, I get blur out. So I make sure that I go to the place whereby I shine. And at this current period, these are the things that the society would want from me. So how can I provide value to the society? How can I provide value to the other side? So once you are able to provide value, that's where your relationship become easier. Okay, so you become know how to contribute to the right circumstance. You contribute to the wrong circumstance, also no use one, right? So that's why a lot of time again, let me just apologize. I don't believe too much in charity work, because a lot of time charity work you contribute to the wrong cause, right? You contribute to the wrong cause, right? So if you contribute to the right cause, then everything is okay, right? So if you take a look at this, right? So now, we see depression is because you hang on too much to the past. That's why you are depressed. Yeah, depressed people always got past problems. So anxiety is about looking too much into the future, right? So if you think too much about right now, then you got pressure, right? So these are the negative side of trees. So now that's why you need to understand right now. You need to understand right now what is making you depressed, what is giving you pressure, what is causing anxiety. So once you have the awareness, which your Bazi chart actually can tell you, like for example, 7 killing actually causes a lot of anxiety. Resource star causes a lot of depression. Wealth star causes a lot of pressure. So take a look at it, you already know, right? So you take a look at this one, wealth star very heavy one. A lot of time in life probably got a lot of pressure. Right? So because wealth star people usually care a lot about now. Okay, right? So if you say that anxiety one is basically 7 killing direct officer, they got a lot of anxiety. Right? So because why they are always worried about being attacked. Being attacked is actually a future thing. While they are being attacked, they got no problem. It's anxiety of being. Bye.